So we were talking about what sorts of things that we could do to help these old dogs, because degenerative joint disease, musculoskeletal complaints are a biggie in their retirement. And I was talking to you about how there was a study done many moons ago. I think it was David Levine and his crew from the University of Tennessee looking at working dogs in New Zealand. And they were suggesting that the retirement age, they eat for about 8 years, and looking at on a cost benefit kind of ratio. This is how much it costs to train these dogs. This is the expectation we have of them. And many of those dogs were getting 4, 5, 6 years old, and they were unable to work anymore because they were having to scale 6-foot fences and all this sort of thing, and they just weren't keeping up, and they had to retire. So in a very cold-hearted way, it just wasn't cost effective. Yeah. Now, one of the things that they found in this study is that because hip dysplasia was being screened for in the pups that were being bred, that as the source of the problem went down dramatically, but another little beauty popped his ugly head: lumbosacral disease. So lumbosacral disease, a belief, one of the strong beliefs, it's an instability at the lower spine where it joins from lumbar spine to the sacral spine, and it's a high movement zone. So it really does take a lot of wear and tear, especially if you're thinking about those extreme movements we're putting on that part of the spine. And it causes what we call cauda equina, which is basically pinching of the terminal part of the spinal cord. It can cause pinching of the nerves as they come out the intervertebral foramina. So you've got a neuropathic pain, which is the pins and needles, the shooting pains, the burning pains, and as well as what we call nociceptive inflammatory pain, which is the arthritis, kind of throbby, continuous pain. Now, it's close to my heart because that's what Holly had. She had terrible lumbosacral disease, steepest learning curve for the She was just so agile. She just it felt like it came on suddenly, but then when you really grill down, you realize you've got a high drive dog who loves her life, and she won't let it deter her until it gets to maximum point. And there's a brilliant vet, I'm going to shout her name out, Dr. Chris Sink over from America, and she lectures and always says that dogs don't show pain until they're 6 out of 10 pain. So it's nothing, nothing, nothing. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 pain, you start to get a hint there's a problem. And that's really what I experienced as well with Holly. So anyway, it's close to my heart. Back to this military and working dogs in New Zealand. So it's a big problem, and we can only but extrapolate the same as over here, isn't it? So what can we do about it? Because we can't stop them in their job. That's their job.
What do we do?
Is there's physios. I think for me, knowing what I know now, like I check Luna pretty much every week. You know, I'm doing different stretches, different tests. I'm palpating. I'm looking for clues, and that could be taught.
Yeah, I agree. I think there is a huge thing for working dogs, and when I say working dogs, I also include, you know, the dogs that are out there on their agility competition and the agility training, because you know it's a huge impact on their body. Amazing fun, especially if you've got a high drive dog. But is there some simple physio that not only gives the dog physio but also allows you to examine the dog every week that we could simply teach these people? You know, since I've had Finn in retirement and he's been going to physio every week, and he's been going on the water treadmill.
Who's the physio? Shout them out. Come on.
So it's Canine Heroes, who are based at Theravet in Sarat. Whoop, whoop. Absolutely wonderful. Yes. So Canine Heroes are the charity, and they pay for Finn's physio. And she's taught me a wonderful array of stuff to do, and some simple massage and manipulation and physio. And we've bought a wobble board so that he can keep the supporting muscles strong, not just his big muscles, but the muscles that support those joints and muscles.